Come on, man. You already know how it had to go down. We're talking about two classic albums came out the same year. Two rare cases where both artists are brand new and they both dropped intensely big first singles.
That's right. Get it right, Jules. Get it right, baby.
Really big first singles. Sometimes you got to work your way into getting that smash. They had smashes right off the bat, straight home runs, if you will. Let's go ahead and start with Keith Murray, The Most Beautifulest Thing in the World, named after the album itself.
Just like that.
This shit was too smooth for a guy to rap this hard on it.
Yeah.
Y'all mythological niggas is comical. The astronomical is coming through like the flu bombing you. And then bombing in your crew too. With the musical, mystical, magical, you know how I do. The word attack skills and vocabulary too. Common history in the distant distance is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary and like Doctor Who. So who? Wanna get tripped on, word is bone. I'm kicking rhymes to the AM vote just wrong. Now Quincy, but I'm back on the block and not selling crack. I'm coming in with the fat funk flows and tracks. So what you saying, Black? With all that yakety yak. My order facts, stamp your beat with bats. I'm saying, I eat everything up on the menu and bend you and send you swaying to be continued. The most beautifulest thing in this world is just like that. I get it, yeah. The most beautifulest thing in this world is just like that. I get it, yeah. The most beautifulest thing in this world is just like that. I get it, yeah. The most beautifulest thing in this world is just like that. I get it, yeah.
Specs.
I mean,
I don't know how I heard that
song, man.
I'm a guy rapping that hard on it. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, that record was different, man. That record was different.
All the facts can't be beat
It was
with
different,
facts.
man. It's different, man. Different, man.
Absolutely was. Matter of fact, just to recant, we're talking about a single that debuted in the fall, the fall of '94, October 10th, 1994.
Mm-hmm.
It ran heavy that whole winter, and it ran through the summer, if I'm not mistaken, pretty much.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That joint ran.
Absolutely. I remember seeing, I think I remember seeing Keith Murray's black Lexus coupe riding through the hood.
The one that Foxy was in. The one that Foxy was in.
Probably. There's a very good chance. But be clear, the most beautiful thing in the world, while it ran through a good amount of time, that time you could have a song last you like months, if not maybe even a year.
Yeah.
This song ran through the summer, because I remember being summertime, still hearing that shit heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But in that same summer, we got to hear the debut of another gentleman off the Long Island that dropped a song that is legendary, just as the one that we heard right now, but took over the summer with a little song called Flavor in Your Ear.
Yeah. Yo, Mac, I don't even understand how they didn't understand you.
On that Mary joint.
Yeah, I know. That old robotic,
futuristic.
Jetson.
Yeah, just like you in the blab, robotic kick and flab, or flavor bit of batter, chitter chatter, madder than the mad hatter. I bet you buy shit, come by fatter. I got the data, turn your body into antimatter. And just like a piece of sizzling, you'll fit inside my stomach with the eggs and grits between. The king is what I mean. My man, get a cup and put some change inside your hand. Now hold up,
let's make it official.
Everybody, let's agree that MCs need a tissue. The folks my only issue. I bet your mama miss you, and I bet the Mac take off like an MX missile. No more you whining on the charts climbing as I make the phone kicking out more harder than a diamond. And if you didn't know who's rhyming, I guess I'm gonna stick Drake Mack with perfect time. You won't be around next year. My rap's too severe, kicking mad flavor in your ear. Here comes a brand new flavor in your ear. Time for new flavor in your ear. I'm kicking new flavor in your ear. Max, brand new flavor in your ear. Drake Mack.
Let's make
1,000 degrees.
Too lazy. Hold it for me.
You'll be on your knees and you'll be burning back and please.
I forgot how much I really enjoyed the original.
Yeah.
And even so, conditioned for years to keep hearing the amazing remix that we all know about featuring Big, Rampage, LL Cool J, Busta, that we forget that we're so used to that intro from Big that I forgot about that, just like you in the blood. Like, and I remember being so amped hearing this shit on the radio when it used to come on. Back then, you had to find stuff you wanted to listen to on the radio, and I just remember like seeking this record on the radio. Both records actually, but that summer was funk. I mean, excuse me, was home of Funk the World. Let's be clear. We're talking Craig Mack, Keith Murray debut albums. We're talking singles. Let's talk about the most beautiful thing in the world versus Flavor in Your Ear. You know, I was going to ask the question eventually. You knew it was coming up at some point. Who do you got? Chat room, chime in. The chat room is going to chime in, but they're not going to be vocal. I need some of y'all to speak.
Polls up in the chat for those in the chat. Yo,
let's get a Nerd Chris shout to the general Nerd Chris. Please get a poll going if you don't mind polls. I got a poll.
Shout to Nerd Chris.
Absolutely.
Shout to YZ in the chat as well.
YZ is in the building.
I'll go.
Oh, snap. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I'm going to pick Flavor in Your Ear for this one.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to pick. I think, as we all know, these are two monster records.
Yeah.
But I think Flavor in Your Ear, it edges it out just a little bit, only because of again, I'm going into my DJ bag, and like, I know I'm going to get a different response. I could get a pop response at this point by playing Flavor in Your Ear. You know what I mean? For that, I'm going to go Flavor in Your Ear. It's the more impactful overall bigger record, in my opinion.
All right, the better single. I mean, I didn't label it that way, but they're both singles. But I feel either way, Flavor in Your Ear is your vote. DJ Scandal being the first to put his vote down. We're talking about the first singles off each project. If you don't know, now you know.
I'm gonna put my vote in too, man. I'm gonna put my vote in too. I'm going with Flavor in Your Ear. Flavor in Your Ear in this one. Yeah.
Vote against the grain. What happened? You shaving that way? Now you shaving
wait. Ain't no shaving.
He always said
no way. What you talking about, baby? What you talking about, bro?
Oh, that's right. No, you are Team Craig Mack. My bad. My bad.
See, look. You ready now,
I'm just ready to attack anybody at the beginning of the year.
there's I mean,
step out of line, please.
Scan just said it though. Like you can't. There's nothing to say wrong about either record. You know what I'm saying? At all. It's just I kind of knew what Scan was saying, but I didn't realize it, because when you hear the Flavor in Your Ear, you can hear like 2 or 3 different songs or remixes that was made off of that record. Just the influence of that Flavor in Your Ear is just the best way to put it. You know what I mean? So
fair enough. Ike putting his vote down. Flavor in Your Ear got 2 votes right there. I'm just glancing over at the Twitch chat room, and I see Nerd Chris going for Keith Murray. Let's not forget that most beautifulest thing in the world. I mean, it's one of the longest titles as far as an album or a single in the world. Let's be clear. And it goes though.
It does.
What is it about that record that had us going? I don't know what he's saying during the verse because it's going so fast, but I'll stick around for the hook.
It's a really dope record for sure. But I think that Flavor in Your Ear, the original, will go, and we won't even talk about the remix, because I feel like the remix was also better than the Most Beautiful Thing in the World remix as well. Just the way that, because Keith Murray, you kind of heard of Keith Murray before because he was on the Eric Sermon joints. I know Craig Mack was on the joint with Mary, but this record for Craig Mack just sent him through the roof, man.
Right.
Through the roof, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody, girls was talking about, how his face was all jacked up and whatever. but still, man, like that, that record like propelled him to like legendary status. So just off of the strength of that, you can't deny that record did more.
And
your vote is
Craig Mack, absolutely.
And for the simple fact that he's coming out of Brentwood, Long Island, that's EPMD. You know what I mean? That's Eric and Parrish, Eric Sermon, Parrish Smith. You know what I'm saying? So when Craig Mack,
there's an EPMD relation on both sides.
And when Craig Mack was to get that notoriety to start a Bad Boy, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't deny the impact that had at that time. You know what I'm saying?
I heard Craig Mack could have easily been a member of the Hit Squad early on. He was basically a roadie for EPMD around the time.
Yeah.
His first single was on Sleeping Bag Records, if I'm not mistaken.
Sleeping Bag, yeah, it was on Sleeping Bag,
which was the EPMD label that they initially came out on. So the Long Island, is it a Long Island? I think it's a Long Island based label. It might have been a Long Island based label, if I'm not mistaken. Either way,
I'm not sure.
The EPMD tree is involved some way or another, so that's kind of cool, and it's good to know Long Island involved regardless. Go ahead, Trip. You about to say something?
Yeah, I'm choosing Flavor in Your Ear because they bring back memories on the Ave. They play that heavy on the Ave. Not far away, Keith Murray said, the Cartoon Block.
Jeep music, huh?
And I'm smelling the street meat, roasting.
Pause.
Whoa, what kind of Juicy? Where's the story going, Juicy?
Oh yeah, what's going on?
What kind of flavor in your ear is this, Trip?
You know how the Ave,
Hey yo,
I think
That's a different
lot
kind
can
of
be
flavor
said.
in the air, man.
I think a lot can be said for Flavor in the Year for what it did for Craig Mack, but is there a bigger record in Keith Murray's catalog than Most Beautifulest Thing in the World?
No, he has.
And the only reason I bring that up is because not a single vote is going this direction yet. We still got to go with Breeze for a second, but again, respectfully, the vote doesn't count.
He has collaboration. He has a lot of collaborations.
He does.
Remember,
So with that being said, is this still his biggest record, or is there another record that's even bigger, like a collab for you that you?
No, this is his biggest record. I think hands down. I think anytime anybody would give Keith Murray a second for a listen to anything like that, the first thing you reference is the most beautifulest thing in the world, easily.
So
YZ said he thinks to get lifted. Maybe that.
When he thinks of
I don't
Keith
think
Murray,
it's bigger than Beautiful.
Or I mean,
what about Hostile?
That's Eric Sermon.
That's Eric Sherman.
But what to Breeze's point with Hostile, and maybe this is why he probably brought up, for one, that was Keith Murray's first appearance that I can remember anywhere, and it was on Eric Sermon's album.
Yeah.
And to Breeze's point, that verse got him a rhyme of the month in the source.
Yeah.
True.
It's 96 degrees in the shade.
I would say React is probably a bigger record, but that's Death Squad. That's not just.
Yeah, I don't feel like he shined, but I feel you.
Yeah.
Maybe the Candy Bar joint, maybe.
I can't see any of those just doing bigger than what Most Beautifulest Thing in the World. I mean, even the video alone, the video alone for that record did a lot for that. You know what I'm saying?
So it's interesting to me, again, so we're going to wrap up around more Breeze. Like I said, we're just going to keep it pushing no matter what you said at this point. It doesn't matter. But you know what? No, I take it back. Let's start off the year as gentlemen.
That's nice. I like that.
Let's see how long that's gonna last.
It's gonna last less than 30 seconds. You answer the fucking question. Hurry up.
Right out the window. All right. I'm going with Flavor in Your Ear, man. Pretty much to piggyback off of what everybody said. That song, the original and the remix, was this fire, and I think it's a timeless record. You could play that over and over and over again years down the line, and it's just that beat alone, man. It's just a sick beat. You never really get tired of it, and you could put that on heavy rotation anywhere. That it'll
Easy Mo B, baby.
Yeah.
Actually, he's gonna be on the beat. Hobo, what are they chiming in the chat room? What did that poll end up?
Nerd Chris was she is a decided Keith Murray fan. But the poll said Flavor in Your Ear 67%, 33% for Most Beautiful.
Okay, so there's definitely some votes for both.
Definitely some votes for both.
I think it's interesting to point out just at this beginning stage of the battle that the heavier side of the room ended up voting more Keith Murray at the beginning of the game. Doesn't mean anything, obviously, just sort of the weight of the room. But the first question, I would say round number one, would probably determine both artists' biggest songs to date, and not a single vote went to Keith Murray.
Yeah, okay, you can't.
Biggest record. So I just want to point out, like, it's going to be an interesting game. I think this ain't.
Because if I said both of them, you're like, nah, you gotta choose one. I want to say
choose one. 100%. This is why I'm saying it's interesting that the majority of the room at the beginning of the game is like, we're going Keith Murray. Not everybody, but a good chunk of the room. But on the first round, nobody would have Keith Murray on his most popular record, as we just discussed a few seconds ago or minutes ago, that this is his biggest record. So I'm just saying that to say, I'm curious how the rest of the game is going to go. So for the people that thought Keith Murray had this in the bag, his biggest record couldn't knock down Craig Mack's biggest record. To say that, and to summarize, round number one, when we asked Craig Mack's Flavor in Your Ear versus Keith Murray's Most Beautifulest Thing in the World, the singles battle, it was a one-sided decision. Everyone voted Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear. Craig Mack officially on the board.